before we begin, we have another convoy shout out, but this one came in a musical form. I will not be singing, unfortunately, but I will read it out to you. Thank you very much to We Got a Little Old Convoy Rocking Through the Night. Said we got a little old convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Convoy. There is technically a size in there. I will give that to you. We've long since gone beyond just trying to find alternate sizes for convoys, and now we just mention anything that involves a size of some sort. But we have many, many convoys for you now at many, many different sizes. This one a beautiful sight, apparently. Thank you for pitching in on Ko-fi. Thank you for helping to support the channel. You know the spiel by now. Let's get into the news roundup because we have some fun stuff to talk about. A lot of updates from our previous news roundup where Takara had done a ton of teasers for upcoming toys from their higher end lines, and a few that we got wrong. So the speculation on the two silhouettes of Sideswipe from their new movie Masterpiece line, Masterpiece Movie Series Next. That's so much better. We do have shots of what they actually were teasing, which is that it will be available in two colors, both the movie accurate silver and still Revenge of the Fallen version, and they're just going to go ahead and release the red repaint at the same time. So we are having a G1 version. I don't recall Masterpiece ever doing this, especially Takara Masterpiece. This is the kind of thing they would do in America as an homage, and we have had Sideswipes repainted and even sculpted with new heads to be G1 homages. But this is weird. This feels very alternator coded or vinyl tech coded, where they would announce that a toy was coming out in two different colorways, like Maester coming out in both white and red at the same time. It's an interesting difference from traditional Masterpiece toys. And I will admit the black looks better because it doesn't look as monochrome. The silver mixed into the red here and there definitely looks better than just the wash of silver over the movie accurate one. It does make me question if this is going to be how they're going to do movie toys from here on out, or if they'll even go back to do G1 style toys for past movie figures. But this is also kind of unprecedented for Masterpiece. Like I said, we don't get just homage repaints just for the sake of it in Masterpiece. That's never been what the line is about. So if this is just the new norm for, this is what the next part of Masterpiece movie series Next is, could be interesting. It's certainly going to hit an appeal that the typical one wouldn't. So we will put a pin on that one. We'll continue on. So we have full color shots and layouts of accessories for the upcoming Missing Link Grimlock. It does look really, really cool. You see all that extra articulation paying off in the beast mode, in the little robot, the little T-Rex arms especially. That's kind of cool to see. All that extra articulation working there. Poses way better than the original, obviously. Comes with a Diaclone pilot, which is fun. And then, yeah, the robot mode looks pretty well articulated. I need to see what how it's handling its hip motion, because I see one leg that is capable of going forward, but the hip skirt is not going forward with it. So I'm kind of curious what they came up with. The hands are articulated. That's a fun little inclusion on a G1 toy. Yeah, and this is just a really nice piece for Masterpiece in general. I kind of wonder if they managed to work in a waist articulation. Doesn't look like it, because the transformation, if it's faithful to the original, that would be difficult. But you can see the articulation. You can see the accessory load down here. It comes with the missile firing launcher, which I'm going to assume does not function, because even though Japan doesn't have the same toy safety laws, they do tend to adhere to them, so the exact same toy can be released in America. So wouldn't surprise me if that was just a decorative piece to install and it doesn't actually fire. Silver chrome sword is interesting. Typically Dinobots come with all red swords, so that's a switch up. But no, still really, really neat. Be thrilled if we can get other Dinobots in this style. I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's great that we're getting Grimlock because that's one of the lost G1 molds that can't be reissued. So we might as well do a brand new figure for it in Missing Link. Here is the Hot Rod. Now, we did a whole thing about if Masterpiece really has a point anymore because the retail level toys are becoming as good, if not better, than the Masterpiece at conveying a show accurate character in a fun to transform package, which Masterpiece kind of fell away from. Now, this, yeah, we examined it in depth. It's an upscale of 86 Hot Rod, which is a really, really good toy. And there are a few new bells and whistles here, but it did kind of make me doubt if MPG was going in the right direction because this really isn't what Masterpiece should be doing. I don't care how good the toy version was. The goal of Masterpiece should be to have a high quality product, higher quality than what I can go buy at a normal store. You know, this offers no new play experience versus the toy you paid $35 for already. It did lead to the question of like Masterpiece right now only has upcoming stuff of like repaints or safe choices. Nothing that really feels like it connects to the original Masterpiece. I was reminded that we do have a Masterpiece blaster that was teased. That does connect back to the original. I would still call it safe because the cassette formers and their partners are always popular. And Blaster is also going to be a fairly simple figure, like Soundwave. He's not going to take a whole lot of engineering to accurately transform. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm actually more curious if Blaster is more to the cartoon side of things that Masterpiece was doing prior to MPG, or if they're going to lean into the older Masterpiece aesthetic so he better matches Soundwave. Don't know. Be kind of curious to find out. And then we also have the repaint of that super retooled Lyle Convoy that apparently is out now. Yeah, and here is the legendary green version, his power-up from the end of second. And you can see it in Beast Wars Neo as well. Neat that they're doing it on the brand new mold. That's cool. I'm not sure what this is showing outside. Is it glow in the dark or black light? Either one would be super cool. Either one would be super cool to actually mimic its glowing. Like if this whole thing was made of glow in the dark plastic for the sake of like actually glowing like he did in the cartoon, that would be amazing. So yeah, kind of a easy repaint, but definitely a good one, a happy one to see. So those are the Takara updates. Yeah, and then we, speaking of the 86 Hot Rod, we have in hand, we have like the official shots now for its new iteration. So yeah, it looks fantastic. It does make me question. I did a whole video on this too. Does make me question why they didn't get some of the things right the first time they did the toy. Like if you really could make that top piece, that top hinge of the top of the car match the rest of the color, why was it yellow the first time you did this toy? They mistransformed it badly, by the way. The front end is missing. But yeah, you get to see Hot Rod with his various accessories. He now he no longer has the blast effects. But instead we are getting like his training sword and shield and his fishing rod, all of which I think are more fun accessories than blast effects. I don't like blast effects really all that much. I've also seen people criticize the blue matrix of leadership. Let's acknowledge he really shouldn't have a matrix of leadership in the first place. He doesn't even have a compartment for it because Hot Rod shouldn't. The shot of all the weapons piled onto him is hysterical. That's funny. It's like, I don't know if I need to shoot, saw, impale, or hook a Decepticon, but I am prepared. Yeah, don't ever try to make this look cool, Hasbro. It never does. Yeah, it's just a really, really beautiful looking figure. So, there were a lot of issues with pre-ordering this because they dropped this at 9 in the morning on a random Tuesday with no warning or notification whatsoever, and the pre-order sold out in minutes. So they did answer that. He's coming to the shelves in the spring, which with normal, like, time, the normal time for release these days with Transformers, let's call it February. How about that? Also saw some frustration with no heads up that the pre-order was coming, so here you go. We have 3 more pre-orders coming, one for each Tuesday in January, so the 13th, 20th, and 27th. Plan for the same 9 a.m. Eastern time like you did for Hot Rod. I hate that. As a night owl, I hate that. I would have to set an alarm to make this pre-order happen. Now, this is all for... They also confirmed that this is all going to be for the More Than Meets the Eye collection. We've gotten leaks for that. So we do know what the listing is. We know what those figures are going to be. One of them is going to be the 86 Starscream. And I hate that that is like a weird exclusive. But it is. That's just how it's going to get released. It's wild to me. Thundercracker's release ahead of Starscream. How weird is that? But there you go. Now you have a heads up. It's every Tuesday for the rest of the month, 9 p.m. Eastern. I am so sorry for you West Coast people who have to be up at 6 in the morning just to order a toy. Hasbro, don't do this stupid. I haven't decided if the PG content thing is going away. I was about to break PG. But nevertheless, like, if you catch your target after these start getting cited, I don't think you're going to have a hard time getting them. If it's going to be anything like the Devastation collection, granted the characters are more popular and the toys are going to be hotter in demand. But Target's got in a ton of all those figures from their last exclusive run. You should be able to grab these at a store. Just saying. Let's look at some in-hand stuff. So we got in-hand shots for the upcoming A-level Orion Pax. With that gigantic saw and his hologram there. Looks pretty good in the robot mode. Robot mode does look pretty good. Maybe a little bit of weird, like weirdly proportioned with like his arms kind of like floating around. His head's floating a little bit. A lot of joints just like floating on him in a weird way. Not sure how I feel about that. The vehicle mode is not great. I really wish the legs collapsed in some way. The fact that they don't is kind of wild. It's like, I think every Orion Pax from Transformers 1 that had even a slight budget to it had collapsing legs to tighten up the truck mode. And the fact this one apparently doesn't is weird to me. Now, as you can see, it's a far smaller figure than the Studio Series 1 Optimus Prime that came out already. This was the other A-level figure. It's a lot smaller. That's why he comes with a gigantic drill saw to kind of make up for the budget. But then again, this is the toy that is representing a much smaller version of Orion Pax. So it actually does track that he would be a lot smaller. So there's reason for it. There's canonical reason for it, but it's not going to make that, you know, like $28 to $30 price point that much more palatable. Does scale well with the rest of everybody else, so I'll give it that. That's nice of it. And I do like the drill accessory. It's a really big piece. Looks neat. Yep, comes with a hologram too. The jetpack fits from Alita. That's fun. He looks like a fun figure. He just looks like he's going to be a figure that I'm going to wait for a sale to get. And A-level stuff usually ends up on sale at some point. Speaking of, the other A-level that's going to be released alongside him is the Devastation Bumblebee. And this thing is flippin' adorable. I love this tiny little not Volkswagen Beetle vehicle mode that is strangely reminiscent of classics. Devastation couldn't use the Beetle either, so they used the classics Bumblebee as a representation. That sets this up to be this really weird release at some point that is just, you know, like a brand new modern version of classics Bumblebee. I mean, it's obviously baked in there. He does look really, really good. I like the leg panels in the front to give him a little bit more color than Bumblebee typically has in robot mode. He's doing that hips, the pelvis is the hips thing that I'm starting to notice a lot more on figures. Vehicle mode about comparable. It's a little bit shorter, but it's longer than the previous, the 86 Bumblebee mold. Yeah, and playing into my conspiracy theory on that, like, this is going to be a classics Bumblebee release at some point, is the fact that there is a 5mm port on the back that ends up right on his back, where you would be plugging in his jetpack. Also a little bit bigger in a robot mode than the 86 Bumblebee, which is neat to see. So that should help a little bit. I don't think, again, I think the cost is going to suck on this one because of the tariffs and because of the size of the figure. Look at the size difference. So you're telling me you're going to charge 28 bucks for a toy that's like, what, 60% the size of the others? Yeah, this needs a new accessory. This needs a big accessory packet. Look, you could fit 3 of them in there. Oh, I hate when they do that. Please throw in some kind of accessory. And what weirded me out, do I have a photo of it? To have a figure this small? You have a better shot. No, the one on the box is a better shot. The extra guns he comes with are hollowed out. Why? Like you didn't have enough plastic. You didn't have enough plastic in the budget. This kind of stuff frustrates me. It's a good looking figure. It's just going to be way too expensive. All right, and another Walmart exclusive, because this one is going to be the retro wheelie, which weirdly enough, we are getting this before we're getting the 86 wheelie, which Hasbro is already guaranteed is on the way. So if the color is not appealing to you and you're not the type that has to have it immediately, don't bite on this one. You're going to get a cartoon accurate one eventually. But the figure itself doesn't look bad. I mean, it's got the backpack I expected, which is some of the truck cab on the, or some of the car mass on the back of the legs, and the backpack, which actually does kind of blend into how he looked in the original cartoon. So that's not egregious. I kind of like that. This is doing a decent enough job. Yeah, you see he's way bigger than the core class, so he's going to be wildly out of scale. But articulation looks good. Transformation looks like it's got some fun little tricks to it. Yeah, I'm not like a big like wheelie hater like a lot of people's. Like I'm more like indifferent to wheelies, so him getting some attention and getting a new toy works fine for me. That said, he definitely should have been a toy the size of Bumblebee. But the problem is, you can get away with releasing a small Bumblebee because it's Bumblebee. You have to make Wheelie larger and feel more the price point because it's Wheelie. It is a character that has long since annoyed and frustrated the fandom. He does have a good looking new toy though. Far better looking than the core. Far better looking than the core. So here is your update. We have a official release photos for the upcoming Studio Series 86 More Than Meets the Eye Hound. This is also going to be one of the Target exclusives, and given the fact that we have full image galleries of it, wouldn't be shocked if the one dropping tomorrow wasn't this one. That said, it really is just an individual version of the one that was released in the Autobot 5-pack. So if you bid on that to get the Hound, I bid on it because I like the no clear plastic figures. But suffice to say, if you bought that 5-pack and still have the Hound, you really don't have any reason to jump on this one. It's good that they're releasing it individually for the people who didn't want to pay an extreme price just to get one missing deluxe from their 84 collection. But you don't need to go out of your way for it if you already got it. There's literally no change that I can discern. It's just nice of them to do for the people who didn't get the 5-pack. So we talked about this in a whole video last week, just so it's in the news roundup, just so people are aware. We do have new code names for the upcoming collaborative toys that are releasing this year. That includes Kick, Race, Green, Song, Symmetry, and Monster Jam 1. If you want to find out what I think they are going to be or some guesses towards that, please go watch my video there. This is the point where I would like throw a card up if I was a good YouTuber, so you could link directly to it. All I'm going to say is it was last week. Go to my video section here on YouTube. You should find it pretty easily. Swapticons is getting another 5-pack, which amazes me because I literally never see Swapticons sell. They are literally stockpiled everywhere at every store I find. Because for whatever reason, people just like the people in charge of these stores just order the most common version of all of the, like they just order all the kid stuff ones, the ones that never sell because they just identify it as a kid's brand. So they ignore the collector stuff, assuming that wouldn't sell. But we do have this new weird 5-pack that is all dinosaur based. So we've got some Dinobots and we got some Predacons too. So we've got a blue G2 Grimlock, which is interesting. We have Dinobot, who is an Autobot, and Megatron, who is a Decepticon, which I don't know why they went Autobot and Decepticon. Like, they're Predacons and they're technically both Predacons is what they are. No, Dinobot should not look that happy. I don't know why you look that happy. That's weird. Also weirder is the fact that Scar is listed as a Decepticon. Why? Why on earth did you mark this Scar as a Decepticon? You're telling me my Ankylo boy, who I'm begging to get new toys, is getting another figure and you're going to mislabel his faction? That sucks. Why would you even do that? Especially when he's in there to combine with Slug, who is missing a tooth for some reason. This is a weird pack. This is a weird pack. Get a weird belly crawling Beast Wars Megatron out of it. You get some like Pokemon fusion version of Slag and Scar mixed together. So you have the back half of an Ankylosaurus and a front half of a Triceratops that might make him a full Ankylo if you squint hard enough. And then you got Grimlock, who I believe is, yeah, he's just a head. So more than likely, another blue Dinobot thing will come out to form the tail of him in the next 5-pack. That's how they do that. Not sure what other blue dinosaurs we have in Transformers to accomplish that, but it does mean at least one more 5-pack is on the way. Assuming this doesn't sell so badly, they have to cancel the whole thing outright. Hello, Earth Spark, I miss you. Some of you don't miss your later seasons. You know what? I'm moving on. We have the codes up for the upcoming, or not upcoming, people are finding them now. The Tiny Turbo Changer blind bags are officially out, and here on TFW 2005 is a convenient list of codes that you need to look for. And fortunately for you, it's just a letter embossed on the bottom of the lower part of the bag. So yeah, it's just A through P. Just figure out which letter corresponds to the ones you want. Have fun hunting. I might go back to this list because frankly, like, if I don't try to get the entire collection, I would at least, because like some of them look weird. Optimus looks so weird. But I would go for at least like a Black Arachnia, probably a Skybite, probably a Whirl, maybe the Grimlock or Soundwave. Like, just a handy little thing to help you out when you're collecting. And only one update from our partner brands this week, but it is Yolo Park. It is our AMK Mini Wave 3, which goes across the universes. We have IDW Orion Pax and Bumblebee, who are both looking really, really good. I really like IDWB, like how he's keeping like a round shape to his body parts, even though he's trying to be movie-esque the way Bumblebees from the time did. Orion looks really, really nice. Very smooth figure, very good articulation. There's Bumblebee. I do really like this iteration of Bumblebee. He's kind of got that like vaguely movie style to him. He looks bigger and he looks more like matured Bumblebee, but he's keeping the roundness. So he seems like a far more friendly take on that warrior Bumblebee. We got Ratchet and Ironhide, because if you're going to do one, of course you're going to do the other. Looking really good. Yep, smooth all the way around. Boxy characters. No way to really get this wrong. Oh, there's the infamous kick to Thundercracker's groin. Okay. Okay, who took the photo for that? Who's the photographer for this one? Who got the news credit? Who got the news credit? I don't see anyone with a news credit. No, it's directly from Yolo Park. Oh, that's even better. Okay, good on Yolo Park. And there he is dying. And we're getting some movie ones in there too. So we got Optimus Prime doing a disco pose for some reason. And Dark of the Moon Megatron. Still not sure how I feel about that bright beige plastic. Optimus looks fantastic. You know, for a line that's like mini, he looks so good. Yep, and he's full like Revenge of the Fallen version, so he's got the twin swords that can mount on his forearms. Cool. Yeah, see, the Megatron, I just feel like that should be darker. Feel like it should be darker. It's not a bad look. It comes with a shotgun. That's nice. Even the original toy kind of screwed that one up. Those two versions never fought. Don't do that to me. And then if you pre-order the whole thing directly from the website, you're also going to get parts to do an all-clear purple Megatron as if he's being reformatted. That one also looks cool. My clear plastic fears aside, there's okay. So there's also one for Optimus. And a metallic version of Orion, apparently. Okay, I like that better. I like that better. Oh, and a gold matrix, too. Why not? Because why not? I suppose there's a chase of Megatron that darkens up his plastic. Is there? Is there? No, there's not. No, there's not. Ah, well. So that's what's going on in Transformers this week. That was the news roundup. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Keeps me going, and I always appreciate that. That means that more videos tomorrow. So I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.